you heard me mention New Age Republicans. And see, listen, they say all politics is local. So I just gave you a local example. I'm going to give you another local example. But this is for all of you people nationally that are going to view this, because I'm sure you have the same issues in your county, in your city, in your state. I know that for a fact because I get around, I travel, I talk to people. We have a guy here in our city, again, a different guy. He says he's a New Age Republican. You understand? He's a black guy. Now, when he got on the scene, okay, he came out saying, I'm a Republican. I'm a conservative. The local Republican Party, because he was black and those words were coming out of his mouth, they embraced him. I said, whoa, stop. I know him personally. I've had numerous personal conversations with him. He's talking out the side of his mouth. He's not a Republican. He's not a conservative. Okay? They ignored me. They didn't want to hear me. I'm just crazy old Allen. Okay? Right. And I'm cool with that. I ain't offended when y'all call me crazy. Okay? Right. I ain't offended when you call me anything you want to call me. I'm all that. Asshole, I'm all that. So, I'm going around and I'm telling these people, the Republicans, the so-called Republicans, he's not a real Republican and this is why. Okay? I'm telling them why. And I'm giving them details of my personal conversations with him. And in spite of that, because they're so eager to play, as I mentioned in another video, political blackface, I told everybody how Democrats play political blackface. They put a blackface on it, okay? And that gives it that veil of protection, because the minute you talk about that agenda that has you're talking about the agenda, but the agenda has a blackface, so it's protected, because the minute the Republican says something about that agenda, they're going to say, but it has a blackface on it, therefore you're a racist. Well, this is what Democrats do. Well, Republicans like to play a little political blackface too, in particular these rhino Republicans. And I'm giving you an example of locally here in Cincinnati, Ohio, Hamilton County, how these local Republicans have also participated in playing political blackface. They don't want me to tell this, okay? My stock can only decline because I'm going to tell it. But I've been on an island my whole life. So I warned him and I warned him. He's not a conservative. He's not a Republican. He's a charlatan. He's a fraud. Okay? So he's telling me early on that he is a Christian. Then he went to being a Buddhist. Statues, incense, the whole nine. Incense, the whole nine. Then, once he put his name, he knew he was going to put his name on the ballot, and you need money to run for elected office, and we know that Jews have a lot of money. All of a sudden, he became a Jew. And he ran around to the different Jewish entities saying, I'm a black Jew, running as a Republican with his hand out. Okay? I'm a conservative, black Jew. This is what he's telling people. I told him, I said, brother, you are saying that you're a Jew because that is you want to get to the money. I said, but you're not a Jew. You went from Christian to Buddhist to Jew. And in your mind, you becoming a Jew just on time because you're running for political office and you think you're going to access that money. Okay? You see the game he's playing? Right. And I'm trying to warn these people. And I've heard through conversations with him, he's made it abundantly clear that he's not a social conservative. Okay? But they won't listen because they want to play political blackface, because they want to be able to get out in front of the cameras and the microphones and say, look, we got our black Republican. But I told y'all he's not that, and you didn't listen. And let me tell you why that's important. They didn't listen. Mike, let me tell you something. They didn't listen to old Allen, okay? Nobody wanted to hear what I had to say. So this New Age Republican that I warned them about, okay, he is now, his name's Jeff Pastor. He was on city council. He's been indicted on bribery and public corruption charges. I believe those are the charges, okay? Mm-hmm. For accepting, I think, as much as $55,000. You hear me? Right. That's number one. Number two, he claims to be a New Age Republican. That's a problem. That should have tipped people off. But they are not politically astute, so that didn't tip them off. Since all this has gone down, he has now come out and said that he's a polyamorous atheist. That means atheist obviously doesn't believe in God. Okay? But remember, he was a Jew and a Buddhist and a Christian. Now he's an atheist. And this all happened rapidly. But they couldn't see this. Okay? You got to have a certain type of spirit to see some things. Right. But the person conveying this information to you, warning you, you think he's crazy. You ain't trying to hear what he has to say. Okay? So, a polyamorous is someone that shares their bedroom, husband and wife, they share their bedroom with numerous multiple sexual partners. He came out and publicly said this in an interview and wrote a letter stating this, claiming this. This ain't me talking. This is him talking. You can go look this up. You can Google this. Okay? Watch the video and read the articles and the documents. Okay? Right. Exodus Media Network. We give you the truth. Exodus Media Network. So, this is their boy. You know, they threw the money behind him, raised money for him, held parties in their homes to raise money for his campaign after I told them and warned them. Okay? And then he does all this. Now, none of this lines up with being a conservative Republican. Okay? I could have saved them a lot of time and money and heartbreak and misery. But they didn't see any value in listening to what I was telling them.
Some people like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I have to say on these Republicans, these rhino Republicans. And see, ladies and gentlemen and ladies, I don't just talk about Democrats. I also talk about the rhino Republicans, not the actual, real, true conservative Republicans, which makes up about 85% of the party. These people are legitimate, God-fearing, hard-working, patriotic people.